We begin the laws of tzitzis. They contain one mitzvah to make tzitzis on the corners of a garment. The mitzvah is explained in the following chapters. The tassel that is made on the strings of a garment from the same basic material of the garment is called tzitzis, right? So here we have. There we go. So.
Like this, comes up.
Come see, come saw.
Go right down.
Okay. Because it resembles the locks of the head, as it says in Ezekiel, relates, and he took me by the locks of my head. This tassel is called white strands because we are not commanded to dye it. The Torah did not establish a fixed number of strands for this tassel. Then we take a strand of wool that is dyed with sky-like color and wind it around the tassel. The strand is called techelis. The Torah did not establish a fixed requirement of a number of times that this strand should be wound around the tassel.
Rabbi?
So we're gonna, I don't think it's gonna be in the Rambam, but here, I don't recall now. But there's a fish, I think it's gonna speak about a chilozin, that there was a dye that it would be used, a natural dye from the fish, that would make a blue color that was the sky, color of the sky, and that would be on the tzitzis. We don't know what fish that is today in order to make that color. So therefore we don't, but that's what he's speaking about over here. Right, because if you see the words, let's take a sitter for a moment. Oh, good stretch. Right. So in the third paragraph of the Shema, that's where we have.
Oh yeah, with a thread of blue.
Right. So four-corner garment, it says, and attach a thread of blue on the fringe of each corner. They shall be at tzitzis, and you shall look at them and remember the commandments of the Lord and fulfill them. They're not allowing you to follow your heart and after your eyes, which you go astray. So that's what the reference is, right? So that's what he's speaking about it. Halacha number 3, thus the mitzvah contains 2 commandments: to make the tassel on the fringe of the garment, and to wind the strand of techelis around the tassel. Both these mentioned indicated, it says, and you shall make the tassels. Asu lahem tzitzis. Right? That means just this whole part over here, right? That's asu lahem tzitzis. Right? And it says, v'nasata al tzitzis kanav psil techelis. And then it says, on the tassel of the corner, make a techelis, meaning that blue that we're talking about, right? Again,
Rabbi, there's no text on the screen. Can't hear us.
Again, just the second phrase.
Yeah.
And God spoke to Moshe saying, speak to the children of Israel and tell them to make for themselves fringes on the corners of their garments throughout their generations. That's one thing, right? The fringes.
Yeah.
Here he's calling them tassel fringes. Okay. Then attach a second thing.
Diane,
attach the thread of blue on the fringe, which is the that's in the corner.
Here.
So it's 2 different things here.
Text
on the same verse.
Just
right. The absence of techelis does not prevent the mitzvah being fulfilled with the white strand, nor does the absence of the white strands prevent the mitzvah from being fulfilled with techelis. Because there are 2 separate mitzvahs. Often, because they're in the same verse, you might think that one's dependent on the other. Saying no. Interesting. What is implied? If a person does not have techelis, should make tzitzis from white strands alone, like we do today.
Yeah.
Similarly, if tzitzis were made from both white strands and techelis, and afterwards white strands snapped and were reduced until they did not extend beyond the corner of the garment, and thus only techelis remain, it is acceptable because you've got the mitzvah of techeles. Okay. Although the absence of one does not prevent the mitzvah of being fulfilled with the other, they are not considered as two mitzvahs. Instead, they're a single mitzvah. Whether the tzitzis a person wears on his garment are white, tcheles, or a combination of the two colors, he fulfills a single mitzvah. Interesting. He fulfills a single mitzvah. The sage observed generations related, and they shall be tzitzis for you. This teaches that they are both one mitzvahs. So this is based on the, this is what the sages say, right? Again, look, if you look at the verse, V'haya lachem letzitzis, and it shall be for you as tzitzis. So that's how they're learning it. In the one verse, it's speaking about, the first verse, it's speaking about the two dimensions. So you might think it's two mitzvahs, right? You might think it's two mitzvahs. But then the next verse says, it will be for you as tzitzis, meaning it's one. One, it's an unusual mitzvah when you think about it, because usually when you have two parts of something and you're missing one part, then that nullifies the mitzvah, right? It's like tefillin, right? If the tefillin are square boxes, so then it's not tefillin.
Yeah.
Or if you're missing a portion of, you have 3 portions, not 4 portions of in the tefillin, right? So it's not tefillin because it's all parts of one thing. Here we're saying it's 2 different things, yet it's only one mitzvah.
Yeah.
So it's unusual. It's unusual. The unusual dimension.
Sorry, I thought we just said that like even if you did one part of it, it was like if you make the white strands or you have the blue thread, each one, if you just do one, that's a mitzvah,
Yeah.
correct? But now it's saying over here that if he wears a combination of the two, it's also still one mitzvah.
No, so you would think that you got 2 different mitzvahs here,
Yeah, I
right?
think you do.
No, it's only one mitzvah.
Okay. Wow. So you can do like.
No, in other words, if you had the tcheles, if you had the blue,
Yeah.
and you have the white, so even though one doesn't prevent the other
It's
from
still
being
one.
fulfilled, so you might think that it's 2 separate mitzvahs, right? But in the end, it's only one mitzvah.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's pretty complex thinking right there.
Yeah, but we probably need a little more insight into it. Which is Binyamin here?
Yeah, he's out there.
Oh, okay. Okay. If we can maybe, I don't know, Binyamin, is he there? Ask him if he. Oh. If he needs a helping hand for a second, let's just take a brief moment and give a helping hand over there, and we'll just come back in a second, folks. Yeah. We're in the middle of learning, so after we're finished or whatever.
Morning, team.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Having the same problem the other day.
Yeah,
Rob
he can't hear you.
here.
Folks, give us a second. Sorry for the delay.
Text on screen as well. Anyway, that's the news. Great day.
Well, listen.
I don't know where to text him to let him know that other than on the.
I just sent him 5 minutes ago an
Oh.
inbox to his Instagram, but he has read it.
Good, that'll take my hand
Mm.
down.
He'll catch on
Yeah.
sometime.
I'm not organizing, you'll organize, okay? Yeah. They just, how long can you get? No rush, just tell me, I don't know. 10 minutes. Could I ask, give them Fabrice responsibility to put them in the office? Or should- no, that's, just, yeah. All right. Sorry, folks.
Rabbi?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Should only be good.
No, but in terms of the question I asked you. About. I'll text you.
Okay, I remember.
So the people with the colors now, because they don't know the real colorly, real color.
Some people say that they know. Some people say they know, but
They wrote a book about this with colors, with
Yeah.
shellfish or something.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. We continue. Yeah, we're good? Okay, how are tzitzis made? One begins from the corner of the garment at the end of the woven portion. By the way, just to give you an idea here, I'm wearing a kapata and it has 4 corners to it, right? Except here, see, this is rounded, because if this was square, this would have to have tzitzis on it,
Oh,
because it's the size that would need tzitzis.
wow.
This is square. And this is square. And you see that this is rounded.
So just three corners. So
As before,
As before,
Huh?
as before.
that's one rope itself, and now it's the part that it needs.
And therefore it doesn't need tzitzis.
So probably the tons of people unintentionally wearing jackets that require Tzitzis.
No, because a regular jacket that you wear is not big enough. This is
Oh, okay.
this is like a full.
Body.
It's a not just full body, but the fact that it's 4 corner. Where do you have in a regular suit jacket?
You're
That's,
right.
Okay, no,
right. It's a
this-
small little cut.
Yeah,
Right. It's this size.
yeah,
Right.
the
This is
jacket suits open
this
at the
is
back,
this
like
is
those.
a complete.
yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
As we're going to learn, the garment itself is covering part,
Yeah,
most of the body.
yeah.
So this is covering most of the body in this size, right? But when you're wearing a suit jacket, it doesn't.
No,
It's a little piece like that that's slit, right? Follow what I'm saying?
No, you mean the opening on the back is like a big opening, and it's
Yeah. So
This
it's a size that's fitting, right? That would be questionable, right? But I'm saying a suit jacket isn't,
No.
because it's a small little.
Open.
It's a small little opening. It has to be 4 corners. So the corners are small. It's a small garment when you call it the corners. You're not here. I'm not including this part of it because this is not 4 corners. It's only the bottom part that's 4 corners, right? But it's a large bottom part, right? Look how much it is. That's large,
Big piece, yeah.
right? By a suit, it's very small. Right? So the four corners, so it wouldn't be a question there. That
Yeah.
clear?
Yeah.
Right, so the end of its woven portion, so one ascends upward no more than 3 finger breadths from the edge, but no less from the distance from the knuckle of the thumb to its end, meaning where you're putting the tzitzis. We're talking about where you're putting the tzitzis, right?
Yeah.
So in other words, this is on the corner over here. It shouldn't be more than this distance, right? Which it isn't. From the corner. That's what it means, right? A hole is made here on a hole, and the strands are put in, right? And the 4 strands are inserted, causing them to be folded in half. So you put it through. These are 4, even though this makes 8, but it's 4 that are folded over, and then, as we're going to learn about the knots and everything, and the twisting and everything over here. I must tell you that I don't know how to do this properly myself. Like the physical making of it. It's an art that I don't have that art.
I've seen Chaim do it. It's kind of.
Yeah. So thus there are 8 strands hanging down from the corner. These 8 strands must be at least 4 finger breadths. This is a finger breadth, right? This is a hand breadth. This is a finger breadth, right? So it has to be at least 4 finger breadths. Actually, 3 times.
So
Right?
wrap
Actually, I don't know if
around
it's from here. Might be from here.
Should be.
wrap around 4 finger breadths.
So he's saying what the minimum.
Okay.
4 finger breadth. So you
Yeah,
got
but this is more because it's been twisted, right? Talking about there has to be a minimum length. I don't know if it means after. If they are longer, even than a cubit or 2, it is acceptable. The term finger breadth refers to a thumb breadth. Okay, 4 of these. One of the 8 strands should be tchelis. The other 7 should be white. How's that work? I'm a little confused. How could it be only one of the 8 if it's doubled over?
Yeah.
Has to be
Me too.
2. What does he mean there?
Well, what happened there?
So one's folded over.
So only half of it's supposed to be dyed. The other half should remain it's white. Yeah. That's what the explanation is over here. Raiva disagrees. Okay, interesting. Okay. Afterwards, one should take one of the white strands and wind it once around the other strands close to the edge of the garment and let it go. Probably need a video for this too. We should watch a video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then one takes the strand that was dyed tchelis and winds it twice around the other strands next to the coil made by the white strand, and then ties the strands in a knot. These 3 coils are called segments, chulia. As one should leave a slight space and then make a second segment using only a strand that was the dyed tchelis. Again, one should leave a slight space and then make a third segment, using only the strand that was dyed tchelis for the segment as well. One should continue in this manner in the final segment, which is the 2 coils tchelis, the final coil using a white strand. Since one began with the white strand, one concludes with it, because one should always ascend to a higher level of holiness, but never descend. Okay, you know what? I think what we should do right now, I want to,
It's a hab matzah.
So much about.
Yeah.
So much about.
It's like you should have.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, I think I know I want.
You're gonna feed the soul and come with an inspiration. I don't know.
Hold on. I want to go. Hold on. I want to get a.
Video.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. I don't see anything here on how to. I'm looking. I want to show the video instead of. It'd be much easier than to learn it.
There has to be one string, because if you fold it over, then it becomes two each side.
It's only, yeah, I know, but it's only died according to this on half.
Oh, no.
Yeah. No.
It may just take some time to find it, but I'm sure there's one. On YouTube.
Yeah, I probably have to go to. How to make Mhm. I don't have any voice. Volume here. Oh. Okay,
So what specifically?
so here, I want, one second, I just want to go back here. Okay. I'm gonna now put on this video. I don't think there's,
Yeah, let's talk about that all.
right,
Just dive.
oops. Here we go. See, it's looped over here. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry,
Can you put it there? No?
hold on.
Put that on.
No, see.
See that they can, not. Here we go. I think so. Yeah, oh, that's a second, we can't see it because I am, for some reason, my, mother tells her daughter. Now, they go.
The doubles are talking.
Those soldiers. There we go. Find yourself a husband will have amazing soldiers. Mother tells her religious daughter, yeah. It says, well, they're good company, I would have been good.
This built in the same way as many.
Not religious, not religious in the army, but today, everybody is recognizing God's blessings of the Jewish people. So everybody is celebrating. It is learning the Jewishness. Everybody's celebrating in honor of all. Oh my gosh, what's going on over here? Religious and not religious. Hostage. That's what's happening. As a hostage. There we go. Oh my gosh. Okay. You see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's share the screen. Here we go. Oh no. So much for that. Is this it? Oh my.
So it's like now.
I just had it. 1 second.
Maybe the one on the top.
There.
Which is.
Okay. Let's go back
That
here.
came from the snail.
Okay. Here we go.
Welcome. Today we're going to be doing the Radzin or Ari method, sometimes called the Chabad method of seed time. Now, this is one that has
See the blues on one side.
strand out of 8 that is blue or techelet. You can see I have a hobby string here, so it's just tied together with a white string. And so this starts in the same way as many seed tying methods do, with a standard double knot. So we're going to separate out our seed, making sure that we have this blue on one side here along with 3 other white. And we're going to do a 2-finger twist and pull through. And you can see that I'm using an extremely long shamash for this. It takes a lot of shamash for this method. So we're doing a 2-finger twist again, pulling through, getting close to that knot, supporting it here to keep from squishing up our talit, and we're going to tighten it the rest of the way up. Now I'm using techelet. As usual, we're going to start with a white wrap. And this is pretty simple for the first wrap. You're just going to go around and then pull up through. So you're going to go up through the loop that you've made on all of these wraps. snug it up real tight. And this first one, because it's not very well supported by just that one cinch down spot, you're going to hold it tight to the core, hold that real nice and tight while you move on to your second. Now the second is a double loop. So you're going to wrap it around your finger and then around the core, pulling up through, guiding it up,
And you see, that's how you're getting those.
and then tighten it down. And because the thread comes out of the top there, when you tighten it down, that's what forms these sort of ridges of loops along with each set of windings. So on your next one, you're going to do 3. So you're going to go once around, and then again around. And then on your last one, you're going to go up and through for your third one. And that's going to be the case with all of these. So if you have 3, you're going to go around twice and then up and through. If you have 2, around once and then up and through. And if you have 1, you'll just go straight up and through. Now to get these nice and clean, you'll have to fiddle with these wraps a little bit. Tighten them up. And as you go and you work with this, they'll sort of tighten up too. And you can go back through and rearrange them. It's a lot easier on the single loops, which is how we finish this one off. So we've got 6 total of blue and 1 of white, and then we move on to
Next
the double
knot.
knot in our next set.
Let's pause that for a moment, just to hear. So like he's starting up here, right? So he made the knot over here, right? That which he's now making another knot. Here's the second knot, right? And in between were the loops. Yeah, you see what and you see the first one's 1, 2, and then a 3, looks like. And you can see how it is. You can see that very.
Now for our next Julian, we're going to start with 2 wraps and then 3 and then 3 for a total of 8. So this is following the 7, 8, 11, 13. So again, you see we do 1 wrap around the core and then 1 up through the top. And you want to guide this up to keep them close together. And that's a harder thing to do when you're working with 3 wraps. It gets progressively harder the more wraps around you have in the set of windings. So we're moving on to 3.
Each one of them is different, right?
And guiding it up. Sometimes they'll crisscross a little bit, squeeze it up, work them out. Get nice and pressed up next to the previous set of windings. And again, we're going to go for another set of 3. So once around. And then a second time. And then up and through. And one way you can help to keep these uniform is by pulling from the bottom first, and then guiding it up and pulling from the top as well. Keeps our second puya of 8 wraps. Going to tie another double knot. Move on to our third puya, which will be 11. So our next one is going to be 3 sets of 3, and then 2.
You got it? Okay, we're gonna stop here.
It all has numerical value to equal 613.
But yeah, it's 613 because Tzitzis is 600. There's 8 strings, right? And 5 knots.
And again, pulling from the bottom helps, especially on these ones with 3 to keep everything uniform and tight, keep all the wraps
See, just mark.
consecutive one after the other instead of twisting up.
Okay. All right, folks, we're gonna stop here. To be continued. Thank you very much.
Thank you.